Hello. Hello. Let's do a quick check on the quality real quick for the video and the audio. How are y'all doing out there? What's up, Mark? What's up? How are you doing, Mark? Video good, audio good. We're good. Check 1 2 1 2. Sounds like Twitter, otherwise known as X, came through with the quickness. YouTube is lagging behind maybe 30 seconds or so. Let's see if I can make this bigger. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'm trying to get the comments going good. Nice. You saw the notification on your phone. So the house renovation is going. We're not really doing too much about it, actually. We've been spending a lot of time on softball. My daughter started getting into softball this year, and so we are spending a lot of time and money doing that. And mostly haven't really done too much with the house at all. Just fixed like the basic things that were super annoying. And the next big thing on the horizon for us is the kitchen, and I think that's going to cost us about $30,000 to $40,000. I think the cabinets are going to be like 15 grand alone, so super expensive. Yeah, I did just take a trip to Italy, by the way, and I want to let me put the link to the family channel because I have a video. I made the video every single day. And so we're about what are we? We're on the second videos out already. Why is it so hard to find my own vlog channel? All right, here we go. Here we go. I'll throw the playlist for the videos in the Chizzy, in that Chizzy chat. Let's see. Boom. Why are they out of order? That's not good. All right, here we go. Link in the chat. What's up, Luke? How are you? So I just put the link in the chat to our the playlist on our family channel, which has like, I don't know, maybe a couple thousand subscribers, if that. Actually, let's see, how many does it have? I might be lying. 2.2 thousand subscribers, but 81 videos. So I mostly make those videos for myself. If it ever makes me any money, that will be a bonus. But yeah, so if you want to follow our trip, go ahead, check that out. But mostly here to do Amazon and reselling questions. So if you guys have any of those, let me know. Also do want to let you guys know that tomorrow the online arbitrage challenge starts. And if you want to learn online arbitrage or the basics of selling on Amazon in general, you should absolutely sign up for the online arbitrage challenge. There is a link in the description and in the live chat. And guess what? They have a more than money back guarantee. So if you're not happy for any reason with the course, you will not only get your money back, no questions asked, but you will also get a $50 bonus. So they're literally paying you $50 to take a chance on the course and see if you like it. And it's a live training, okay? It's live. It's for a week. There's a Q&A after each session. There's a lifetime replay access. They actually have 3,600 graduates from the OA Challenge, and I have literally never heard a single person complain about it. Chris Grant and Nate McAllister are literally the most trustworthy people in the online arbitrage space, and just great dudes. So everything you need to know, suitable for all levels, new sellers and 8-figure sellers. You could also buy this course and give it to your virtual assistant so that they can source for you. So once again, there's a $50 more than money back guarantee. I highly recommend you guys check it out. Obviously, I have that ticker going down there, and I'll talk about it throughout the live or whatever. But I'm heading out of town for a week, so I figured I should get a live stream in before I go out. Let's roll with this one. I've always wanted to start flipping. What would your advice be for a beginner? Really want to get started ASAP. So for beginners, I always recommend that you sell used books on Amazon. It is by far the most accessible and easiest category for you to get into. It doesn't cost a lot of money to buy a used book, and when you make a mistake, because they're cheap, it doesn't matter. You can just throw them away. Whereas if you're selling things that are like $20, $30 plus and you make a mistake, you really have to focus on getting your money back from that mistake before you continue, or at least at some point. Whereas with books, you can just go, okay, cool, lesson learned, that cost me $1, right? So you're making mistakes as a new seller, and the cost of your mistakes is equivalent to the cost of the inventory that you buy that you shouldn't have bought maybe, or the money you lose for pricing too aggressively or whatever, right? So think about it in that way, that used books are very cheap, and everything you learn with selling used books on Amazon will apply to every other category. You're still going to learn sales rank. You're still going to learn how to price your inventory. You're still going to learn how to use a repricer. You're going to learn how to source. You're going to learn how to read Keepa charts. You're going to learn how to use a scanner, whether it's online or on an app on your phone because you're actually in a store, and you're going to learn how to network and develop a supply and make a route. You're going to learn all the things you need to learn for online arbitrage or retail arbitrage or even wholesale or private label, and you're going to learn it very, very cheap. Also, as a new seller, a lot of things on Amazon are gated, meaning that if you want to sell them, you actually can't even sell those because you're either not eligible to even apply to sell it, or when you do go to apply, they want 100 units, 300 units, and that's just not feasible when you're a beginner. What I definitely want to reinforce to you is that the first thing is obviously start. You need to start. So sign up to be a seller, get everything going, get through the identity verification process, and then get the Amazon Seller app, right? And even with just the Amazon Seller app, even though it completely sucks and is slow and you have to click so many times just to get the data that you need, and you can't even get all the data that you need to make the best decisions, you can get by with it. I've known many people to do over 100,000 in their first year using only the Amazon Seller app, without buying a course, without having mentorship, without doing any of that stuff, right? So sign up for Amazon, get the Amazon Seller app or whatever app you want to get, right? There's plenty of apps in the marketplace. Seller Amp is a great one. Scout IQ is great if you're selling books. And shop your house. What I mean by shop your house is go through your house and scan all the products in your house. Hit the pantry, hit the bathroom, hit the bookshelf, hit anything that has a barcode. You want to scan it. And through that process, you'll learn to identify items that are profitable, that move fast, and you might even find some items in your own home that you can use to bankroll your startup. The other thing I would say is that keep eBay open as an option, because Amazon, like I said, is going to be restricted for a lot of stuff. So if you want to have the best opportunity, you need to have multiple platforms to sell on, like different, arrows in your quiver. So when you find something that's great, you don't just go, oh, dang, I can't sell it on Amazon. You go, okay, I'm going to put that one on eBay, right? So don't forget about eBay. And also sign up to be a Walmart seller, because Walmart is a thing now. It's a big, big platform. It's the second largest online platform that, third-party sellers can sell on. And if you want to make money online nowadays, it's not just Amazon. You got to also have Walmart in your quiver, right? You might also want to have TikTok Shop in your quiver, right? So stay diverse. Don't do it all at once. Do it one at a time. But little by little, you can get by like that, and you can learn how to sell on Amazon for very low risk, right? It might take you a little more time, but your mistakes are not going to cost you a lot, and that's very important, because sometimes you make a mistake that costs so much that it just sets you back financially and maybe even emotionally, to the point where you just give up because you're frustrated and you don't want to hit that wall. You want to keep going little by little through the path of least resistance, and I truly believe that that is used books. So hopefully that was helpful for you. Also, too, if you guys, if you appreciate me doing a live stream, please like the comments, please like the video, press the share button, just share it out to Facebook or wherever. I really, really appreciate it. And let's go to the next one. This is a great question. So Quick Trip, is this... I'm assuming this is not Quick Trip, the gas station store that has snacks and all that. That's amazing. How much revenue do I typically do for for a year from reselling, a little bit over 100,000. So somewhere from 20 to 30% profit. And it's almost entirely Nike, because I can still sell Nike as a older seller that was grandfathered in. Even though they tried to kick me off 2 times in the last year and a half, I was able to get back in. So for me, it's not very hard for me to do 100,000 a year selling Nike. Now, that's not where I make most of my money. I make more money than that from doing YouTube, from doing sponsored videos, from doing my mentorship program, from affiliate marketing, like promoting the online arbitrage challenge, things like that. So for me, I really am just selling to stay in touch with the marketplace so that I know what's going on and I can deal with all the ABS. That stands for Amazon bullshit. And be able to guide my students properly, you know what I mean? Whereas also I'm able to make content, right? Because I can do stuff like this without having products to make content. But if I want to show you how to use a barcode scanner, or how to pack a shipment to FBA, or how retail arbitrage works going through a store and finding products that are profitable to sell, I actually have to be a seller myself. So for me, just full transparency, I make most of my money from teaching now and from doing those types of things. And that's how it's been since about 2019. So I started selling on Amazon in 2004, and then I started teaching Amazon on YouTube in 2016. And by early 2019, so right around 3 years of being on YouTube, I was making more off of YouTube and teaching and coaching and speaking gigs and all that stuff combined than I was off of actually reselling. And the way I look at it is that I could always stop all of this. I could always just stop being Reezy Resells and then just go back to selling any day, any time. But I won't always have this opportunity. So this is a bigger opportunity for me. And it's also more fulfilling because I get to help other people make money, not just myself. And just to be fully honest, it's a lot less risky, right? I'm not putting up any money. I mean, I have to buy some lights and a computer and some camera and whatever, but I'm essentially the product at this point, and I'm cheap. So that's how that goes. Thanks for the question. Hopefully that answered it for you. Let's see. What do you mean, Luke? My good buddy Luke is a used bookseller over in the UK. I'm trying to think where he's from. He's stationed in, where is it? Oh, I forget what it's called. It's a sweet little town over there. They got an old British sweet shop on Main Street. He says, it's all good, mate. Amazon UK starting to enforce tracking on orders over $5. Had 2 emails, so I'll think they'll be pushing this into the books category. Does that mean like shipping tracking or delivery confirmation or whatever? That's one thing that's incredibly hard for me to keep up with, is like shipping policies and nuanced policies in other regional marketplaces like UK or Canada. If you can comment back on that, Luke, and let me know, I would really appreciate that. Let's see if I could understand this question. Pezzy Pie says, hi, Reezy. How you're get in action when there is opportunities by product shortages? Thanks. Skate or die. I'm assuming you're asking, how do I find those? A big part of that is actually just being networked with a bunch of other resellers and understanding, what other people are seeing, as well as being out in the streets, in the stores every single day and noticing it for yourself. But there is some things you can do. You can pay attention to trends online. You can use Google research to bookmark certain keywords for you to be notified. So if there's news articles about shortages or about stores going out of business, that type of thing, you can be automatically notified by that. But a huge part is just keeping your ear to the ground and just having a good community and network of people, because the more people you know, the more things you know, because they share with you, right? So it's like having a gigantic ear, and you got to keep it to the street. So, and also just be careful with product shortages, because some of that stuff's actually illegal to sell. So you don't want to sell anything that's considered a necessity, right? So food, fuel. I heard some stories about some sellers who were selling water on Amazon, right? They've been selling water on Amazon by the case, but then there was a hurricane or something, and so people need to order a lot more water, right? And then suddenly their repricer, which is automated, right, and smart, it starts raising their price because it realizes the demand is so high. And now they're getting in trouble for price gouging on necessities which is water during a hurricane where people actually need water. So just be careful if you're selling anything in those categories. You know, baby formula or baby food is another one of them, but you don't want to get caught scalping. Now, patio heaters or chlorine, those are not considered necessity items. Workout equipment, not necessity items. But a lot of people made a lot of money during the pandemic selling things because there was shortages. And to be honest, that's not anything special. That was the easiest time that it had ever been to be a reseller. There's actually a lot of people that I see that did over $1 million in year 1, year 2, year 3 since the pandemic. And now they're going out of business because Amazon's hard, right? And it's not really that Amazon's hard, even though it's harder now than it's ever been. It's actually the norm that Amazon is hard and that it continually gets harder and the strong survive, right? So anytime anyone says the sky is falling, especially when a lot of people are saying it, you know the opportunity on the platform is about to get good. And we're actually seeing that on Amazon right now, where it's still hard to sell. It's still hard to get approved. But if you know some tricks, you know what I mean? Some of these I can't share publicly on YouTube, only in my mentorship program. You can get around them. And because there is a mass exodus of people leaving the platform, the supply is down, which means the prices are going up and there's a lot of opportunity. And at some point, the cycle repeats, right? Because once the inefficiencies in the market get solved and there's software and a lot of people talking about how to navigate them, then people come back, right? Then the supply goes up, then the prices go down again. So it's cat and mouse. I've seen it happen at least 10 times in the last 20 years since I've been selling on Amazon. So pay attention to the market and you'll know what's going on. Let's see. Life with Kevin says, I got the email shout out and came here. I first watched you years ago when you were on Gary V. Good stuff. I love making money online. Hell yeah, Kevin. How are you making money online? Let me know. Share some. Why are you holding out on us, bro? Share some information. Johnny said, thanks for the advice. Let's see. Junkman says, hey, are you doing these lives every week or ad hoc whenever? So I currently don't have a schedule. I've been kind of just doing pop-up lives, but I do plan to get back to a weekly schedule of at least one a week. So I used to do the Monday slots back when it was Money Talks with Reezy Resells way back. I don't know if any of you guys have been following me since then. I did switch the branding over to Reezy Talks now, which I think is a little bit cooler, right? Reezy Talks, kind of like Ask Gary V or whatever. But yeah, I want to do every week at least once and maybe even still another pop-up, but I don't know what day of the week would be best. So if you guys have any comments that you can add, like let me know what days and times would be best for you and also what what time zone you're in. Appreciate it. Let's see. Quick Trip says, thanks for answering the revenue question, Reezy. Most people will never answer that. Really appreciate it. Watch you a long time and finally built up my niche eBay business to 6 figures revenue. Hell yeah, bro. That's what's up. That's awesome. Way to go. A lot of people don't know that almost everybody in America could sell 6 figures on eBay alone just by buying junk from yard sales. I promise you, if you hit yard sales hard and strategically, you could do 100,000 in revenue on eBay a year. And that might be 20, that might be 30,000 profit. That might be a little more depending on how good the items are that you're finding. But I promise you, everybody in America could make an extra $20,000 to $30,000 a year just by going to garage sales on the weekend and then selling that stuff on eBay. And you might have to give up your Netflix time, right? You might have to give up some of that doom scrolling on your phone. Like, what's your screen time? You know what I mean? A lot of you guys have screen time so high that you'd be ashamed to admit what your screen time was in public because you know you're probably complaining about some other shit that's going on in your life and how you wish you had more money or how you can't do this or how you hate your job or whatever. Meanwhile, your screen time is 8 fucking hours a day, right? Like if you're comment your screen time. If you're okay with that, I would love to know what some of your guys' screen time is because that's the time that you could use to be making money online. Let's see. Your talk Romer posted from Miami was fire. Thank you, man. I didn't know that he posted it. He posted my my speech publicly on his YouTube channel. Didn't even ask my advice. Didn't even ask my permission, and is definitely not giving me a cut on the AdSense revenue. What a guy, right? No, I'm just kidding. Romer's tight. But yeah, that's a good one. Those are some of the first time that I started talking about my life story. I think that's what that speech was, right? I do a few a year, so I get them twisted. My bad. But let me know, Junkman, what speech that was. Was that me talking about the Amazon influencer program, or was that me talking about my life story? Pulse Reloaded says, what sells best on Amazon right now? Sneakers. What sells best on Amazon is whatever you can get in a large supply for a price that's cheap for you, right? So wherever you're at, maybe you live in a wealthy, liberal area that has a lot of colleges, and so there's a lot of thrift stores and there's a lot of books donated, and you have a vast access to used media. Maybe that's best for you. You know what I mean? But that question, like what sells best on Amazon right now, is kind of hard. But what's good to know is that if you know how to use Keepa, right, the Keepa product finder, you can actually just go search and find out, show me items that are selling this frequently, that sell for over $50, or that have gone up 30, 40, 50% in price over the last 30, 60, 90 days, right? Show me all the toys that are currently selling for more than $50 that have went up 50% in price over the last 90 days, right? Then you go through those results. Those are toys that are trending up in value and are still in high demand, right? So those are things that you should be looking for to source. Honestly, Keepa Product Finder is amazing. It's the most OP software that you could use. So Keepa, right, is a staple in Amazon reselling, and most people just use it to read the charts, right? The sales rank and the price and the supply, right? But if you learn how to use Keepa Product Finder, you can do so much stuff, including stalking other people's stores, finding good sellers, see what the best products that they're selling is. It's actually insane. And if you join the OA challenge, which there's a link in the chat and in the description, I highly recommend every one of you sign up for this. You don't have an excuse not to. They're literally going to give you all your money back plus $50 if you have any reason why you don't like the course. So it's a week-long challenge, right, with Chris Grant, and he's going to teach you how to use Keepa. He's going to teach you how to use Keepa Product Finder, right? They're going to be teaching you an insane amount of stuff. There's also a live Q&A after every session. You'll be networking with other serious arbitrage sellers. I have people in my mentorship program, or students that I've taught in the past, that take this every single year just as a refresher, right? And don't forget that education is a tax write-off for your business. I'm serious, guys. If you want to, like, if you've been waiting or if you're barely in and you don't know how to use Keepa, or you don't know how to use online arbitrage, click the link in the description, the link in the chat, join the online arbitrage challenge. Even if you don't plan on taking it, join it right now, because you'll get a notification, and if you have time, you'll take it. And if you don't, and you don't show up, then just ask for a freaking refund. And guess what? You're not only going to get a refund, but you're going to get $50 back. So I don't know if they would want me to promote it like this, but basically this is a way where you can get $50 for free. If you want $50 for free, join the OA challenge, right? And then if you like it, don't ask for a refund. But if you don't, or if you don't show up, ask for a refund, and you'll not only get your money back, but you'll also get $50 back. I can guarantee that's not the way that they want me to promote the OA challenge, but I promise you, I don't promote bullshit, at least not most of the time, not unless they're paying me a good amount of money, like a lot, right? But this is something that I believe in. Christopher Grant is the coach that's leading this. It's a week-long live training. There's recordings if you can't make it. There's a Q&A afterwards. They literally have 3,600 plus graduated students, and I've never heard a single person talk shit about the program. So join it. I promise you, you will learn a lot of stuff, and you'll also be around those sellers who have taken it multiple times. Let's go. David, is reselling still alive? Hell yeah. How else is it? Where would it go? Reselling is alive, as it's always been. Don't listen to all the negative Nancy naysayers. Johnny Shelton says, fastest way to get ungated in popular categories. Okay, so I'm gonna lay some sauce here for you guys, so pay attention. And I want to see some likes going up, because this is not the stuff you hear every day. So if you can apply for a category, right, and they ask you to submit an invoice, that means you can get approved, right? And here are some of the places you can use an invoice to get approved for. Target.com, right? Target.com's invoices actually say invoice, and those are great. You can also do Walmart.com email order confirmations, just screenshots of the email order confirmation, okay? On top of that, you can do Costco.com, you can do BJ's, right? These are all actually proven places. You could do Kohl's website. All of these are going to be website. Don't expect to get approved with a retail receipt, but website. Now, the most important thing, because there's way more places you can get approved from, the most important thing when you're getting ungated is that the information on the invoice matches, right? So your name and address are on the invoice, and that matches your Amazon account. And the company that you ordered from's name and address is also on the invoice, right? And then you have an item that's eligible, right? So if it says 10 and the website only lets you order 5, you can do 2 orders of 5, right? And then you can mash both of those into a PDF file and submit that, right? If you want to get approved for Lego, go to lego.com, boom. If you want to get approved for a bunch of different toy brands, use Entertainment Earth. They have a sidearm wholesale called EE Distribution. These are not secrets. These are things that are known in the reselling community, and this is why it's important to be in a community and network and talk to other sellers. All of these places can get you approved for any brand, right? If you want Sony, go to sony.com, right? Always find the cheapest item, right? So like I remember I needed Logitech during the pandemic, and I went to logitech.com and I purchased privacy camera covers. They were 99 cents a piece, and I got 10 of them for $10, submitted it, got approved. Bop, boom, bing, bang, right? Don't let these little things like gating stop you from being successful on Amazon, because if it stops you, yeah, obviously that's not good. But think about it. You want to be successful. You want to get to the other side of these barriers to entry. And these barriers are actually good because it stops a lot of people. But I don't want it to stop you. You know what I mean? Don't let it stop you. And I just want to warn you that when you submit your invoice to get approved on Amazon, they're going to deny you. That's just how they roll. They pay overseas Indian staff, no disrespect to Indians, but they're not getting paid enough to care about you, right? And so they're just deny. And you need to keep submitting it until you get approved. It might take 10, it might take 20, it might take 50 freaking resubmissions, and it might take you 2 hours of getting on the phone, right? But if you want that brand, I promise you it's worth it. So we're not going to do this for every single brand under the sun, because for one, that will take too much time and cost too much money. But for the things that you see light at the end of the tunnel, right? For the things where the juice is worth the squeeze, right? This is going to be stuff that you have access to, or stuff that you know about, right? To where if you get approved, you know you're going to make money, then go after it. And just as a rule of thumb, I don't advise anybody to buy inventory that they're not approved to sell thinking they're going to get approved, right? So don't go and buy a bunch of this item and then put it to the side and think, okay, I'm going to go order online, I'm going to get approved. You might do it. You know, you might do it. And for some of you, it'll work, but it's very risky because guess what? You don't know if you're going to get approved. You don't know how long it's going to take to get approved. And most importantly, you don't know what the price is going to be on those items when you finally do get approved, okay? Now, sometimes I understand it's like an all hands on deck situation. The inventory is so good, it's 90% off. But hopefully in that scenario, you have a backup plan, and your backup plan has a backup plan. So you're like, okay, I'll sell it on Walmart. If I can't sell it on Walmart, I'll sell it on eBay. If I can't sell it here, I'll donate it to some charity and get a full tax write-off for it, okay? So make sure you not only have a backup plan, but your backup plan has a backup plan. But yeah, also, here's a mega bonus tip, guys. I'm going to want to see some W's in the chat for this one. A lot of these invoices that say you need to submit 100 or 300 units, guess what? You can get approved for those by submitting an invoice with 10 units, right? So don't think that, you know what I mean? And this is a little bit gray hat, a little bit against the rules. But if you want to make money on Amazon, you might have to bend the rules a little bit. And I promise you, as long as you keep the customer's best interest in mind, and that's what you focus on, you're not scamming. You know what I mean? You might bend Amazon rules a little bit, but ultimately you're taking care of their customers, right? And you're giving them good products, quality, everything's authentic, you'll be all right. So if you hit a wall and it says 100 or 300 units, try buying 10 and submit that a bunch of times until you get approved. I promise you it works. I'm doing it every single day with me and my students. Still follow BrickSeek paid version. So no, I don't. And that's because in my Discord is a gazillion times better than BrickSeek. So we can see way more items than BrickSeek, and we have way more accurate stock checker. So if you guys want to join my Discord, comment down below and I will add the link for a free trial for you guys to join. It's I'll put it on after the video's done live because I'm gonna forget right now, but just comment please. That will remind me. I'll see the notification and I'll add it, right? So Reezy Ninja's Discord, fire. We actually just joined forces with Divine Discord. I don't know if any of you guys know what Divine is, but they're one of the top 5 reselling Discords in all of the reselling Discord marketplace. And you can literally make a living just sitting on your computer and watching the alerts come through for the different products on the Discord and then just purchasing them. Like, it's insane. There's even like a channel for free food notifications. So like last week, or the 2 weeks ago or whatever, when Squid Games dropped, they did a free promotion with Uber Eats for free $45 off your order. And you had to go there and like spin a wheel. And if you won the spin, you got the code. And so right when it dropped, they put it out and it was like, click here. If you don't win, refresh, click again till you get the code. 5 minutes later, they reposted again, was like, here, you don't have to play the game. Here's the link right here. Just boom, click on the link, take you there. And people were ordering multiple DoorDash, I don't remember if it's DoorDash or Uber Eats orders, like their wife's account, their mom's account, whatever, and then using the code, and people are literally getting, $50 to $150 of free food that night. And the Discord's only $75 a month, so it's like, it's honestly kind of insane. Between that and the stock checkers, so like imagine you're hitting Walmart super hard and you find a good item, and you find like 4 of them, and then you run that on the stock checker in the Discord, and it tells you how many are at all the different Walmarts around you and what the prices are, and then you can just go get them. And it's way better than the BrickSeek checker. It's way better than the Walmart store checker. Somehow it's like someone who works for Walmart has their employee gun hooked up to a computer, and they're selling us the data. So just like full transparency, I am not running the Discord. I'm there, right? My Reezy Ninjas are in there. We've been absorbed into the Divine Discord. I'm in there. I'm using it just like you would be using it. But there are people much smarter than me that have built it out and ran systems. Because when it comes to Discord, even though I was born in '84, I'm kind of like a boomer. You know what I mean? Like, I know how to use it, but I'm by no means a Discord wizard. But if you want that kind of stuff, join the Reezy Ninjas Discord. You'll be all good. Again, guys, click the link down below to join the Online Arbitrage Challenge. Class starts tomorrow. It's a week-long free training. If you're not there for the lives, you can get the recordings. There's a more than money back guarantee. That means that if you're unhappy for any reason, you'll get your money back plus an extra $50, okay? And they have over 3,000 satisfied students. I've never heard anyone talk shit about the program. There's a live Q&A after every class. You'll be networking with sellers that are doing over $1 million a year that have taken the Online Arbitrage Challenge multiple times. They take it every year as a refresher. It's the most trustworthy people in the game: Christopher Grant, Nate McAllister. Just join the Online Arbitrage Challenge and just fast track yourself. Quit being a pussy. Join the challenge, pay for it, and force yourself to pay attention, and then just show up and do it. People who pay attention, right? So you could not do it, and I'll learn myself, but when are you going to learn? Because I promise you, if you pay, you're going to pay attention. You'll feel shame from spending money, and then you will actually show up and take the fucking course. So do it. Gouging, not scalping much. Let me see this. I should have brought some water up here. I didn't know I was going to be spitting straight fire. Reezy, I'm inspired by your story and hustle to be your own boss as a living. What's a few key advice tips for getting started straight from scratch? If you're starting straight from scratch, please, there's a link in the description. It's learn.reezyresells.com. Go there. I have a free 45-minute training that teaches you all the basics of everything you need to know to get started. I couldn't answer that question. I might talk for 45 minutes straight if I try to answer this question right now. So if you are someone that wants to get started and you have no idea or concept, you've never sold anything on Amazon, maybe you've dipped your toes in the water with eBay, go to learn.reezyresells.com, put your email in, and take the 45-minute free video course. I promise you from that, you will be taking notes while you're watching it, and you will have everything you need to know to get started. And for some of you to take it to your first 100,000 in a year. Obviously, not everyone has an equal skill level. Some people need their hand held a little bit more, but for some of you, that will be all you need. And for all of you, that will be at least half of what you need and will give you some confidence to get going. So go ahead and do that. If not, come back to my videos and ask questions. Subscribe, show up to the lives, ask questions. I'm going to be doing these once a week, and ultimately I'm going to get it scheduled for a certain day and certain time. I would love to know what days and times work best for you guys. Let me know. And then just show up to those. But otherwise, just take that 45-minute free course and grind it out. Let's see. Music says, what are your thoughts on starting wholesale, possibly with distributors and using 10,000? I'm a beginner, but I want to bypass OA and RA. What are your thoughts? Any tips? What can I potentially make? So I'll just be 100 with you. Wholesale is not my expertise, but I do know that a lot of the stuff that you need to know to do wholesale is basic Amazon stuff. So I recommend you at least learn some basic Amazon stuff before you bypass stuff, So you need to know sales rank. You need to know supply and demand. You need to know how to use Keepa. You need to know how to list items, how to make Amazon FBA shipments, how to deal with customer service. But then with wholesale, there's a whole different set of skills that are involved with how you're sourcing products and how you're networking and finding suppliers and distributors, and then the phone call skills, you know what I mean? So I highly recommend, if you want to learn wholesale, that you talk to my friends Brad and Brandon, and their Instagram and YouTube is Operation AMZ. Let me see if I can find them on YouTube. And these guys are just incredibly knowledgeable. They know so much stuff. And I believe they have a free school group as well. So let me, give me 1 second. I'm looking for them. If anybody wants to help me with that in the chat, I'll approve the link if you post it. I appreciate it. All right, I got it. All right, here we go. Check it out. Boom. I'm putting it in there right now. All right, so follow them on Instagram, Twitter, and their YouTube, and subscribe. These guys are old students of mine that killed it. They're doing almost $1 million or over $1 million with retail arbitrage, and then they transitioned to wholesale. So now they're crushing it with wholesale. They teach wholesale for free on YouTube and all the platforms. They also have a mentorship program and a course and a free school group and all that. But I can tell you that because they are disciples of mine, that they are trustworthy people. They're not scammers, right? So talk to Brad and Brandon if you want to learn wholesale. That's the best advice that I could give you. Consume their free content if you're not ready to invest. David says, is eBay dead? No, eBay is alive and ticking. I do believe that things like Whatnot are cutting into the marketplace, right? But eBay is alive and well. It is obviously pay to play now, so if you're selling and you're not paying for promotion, you're not going to be getting a lot of eyeballs on your products, especially if you're selling stuff that everybody else is selling, right? So it's not dead, but you might need to work a little bit harder. Hey, this is Henry. What's up, Henry? Henry is one of the students of the Reselling Academy. One of my more successful students. He did over 100,000 in his first year of selling on Amazon, so shout out, Henry. David's just crushing it with the are these things dead? Is sourcing at secondhand stores dead? No. The funny thing is about sourcing at secondhand stores is secondhand will never go anywhere, right? Like, people will always be wasteful, will always be buying stuff and then throwing it away or donating it, discarding it, whatever, and that stuff is still good. And there will always be people who either are very thrifty or frugal like myself, or can't afford brand new stuff, so they shop at these places where the used stuff is sold. So it's definitely not dead, but as they get smarter and smarter, and as the age of their employees gets younger and their technological literacy gets greater, you're going to see less and less gems on the shelf that you can find for, like, let's say $5 or $10, and they're selling for 5 or 10x on the thrift store, because they're just going to know more and more and more. So is it dead? Definitely not. There is still 1 million honey holes left in America, but Secondhand itself is never going anywhere. Maybe you could start your own thrift store, right? And then beat Goodwill to the punch by so the only reason Goodwill gets stuff donated to them is not because people love the Goodwill. It's because people consider it the free junk, the free dump, right? It's free because even going to the dump costs money, right? To get rid of stuff that you can't put in your weekly trash, it costs money. So they take it to the Goodwill, right? They might even have a bag in their car every month or once a week that they take to the Goodwill to drop off at the donation station. Well, what if you made your own thrift store and you also made it a nonprofit? You could still pay yourself a lot, right? But you did pickup, right? So you scheduled pickup. And then in every neighborhood, maybe you send out postcards, right? Once a month to remind people what their pickup day is and how to put their stuff out on the curb. Make sure it's not coinciding with trash day, okay? That's the one piece of research you need to do. But if you make it easier for people to donate to you than it is to Goodwill, I promise you, you will get donations. And it's not only can you make it easier for them by the way of how the donations come to you. So, doing pickup is better than them having to bring it to you. But if you make yourself look really good, if you actually do good in the community, because the only good in Goodwill is in their name. They literally don't do anything. They hire disabled people so that they can pay them less than minimum wage. And when they say they create job opportunities or job training in the community, all they do is train people to work for them for shit wages. Goodwill sucks. It's going to be a million times. If you can't be better than Goodwill, you probably can't be good at anything, right? So figure that out, and boom, I just gave you a whole business model. Be your own thrift store. Before I get to the next question, I want to remind you guys, sign up for the online arbitrage challenge. It starts tomorrow. The sign up ends tonight at midnight. There's a link in the description. There's a link in the chat. There's a more than money back guarantee. What does that mean? That means that if you're not happy for any reason with your live training, which is a week long, they'll give you all of your money back plus $50. That means you're getting paid $50 to take a week-long training that could potentially change your life. And they've had over 3,000 students, and I've never heard anyone say anything bad about the online arbitrage challenge. So go get it. This is a good chance for you to lock in, right? Because some of us can teach ourselves, some of us can learn from watching, but a lot of us, I believe all of us, can learn from a live situation, right? Like what's your learning type? Like live with someone coaching you and telling you where you can raise your hand and ask questions? That probably works for most of us. Oh, shout out Gap King. Everyone go follow Gap King. Hey, Reezy, how can I become rich and famous like you? Just kidding. Running to FedEx and USPS. Have a great stream. Follow the Gap King, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. He's putting out some good content. And he's not like super far down the line. He's not doing $1 million a year. It's quite relatable. And one thing I like about GK is that he will do, just even yesterday, I saw his story on Instagram. He was doing retail arbitrage, and he was showing his products that he was finding from Ollie's and from grocery outlet. He wasn't like saying, here's the product, here's the barcode, but if you were paying attention, he wasn't hiding it, right? You could see the brand, you could see it. So there's crumbs that he's dropping that you can go pick up. So shout out to the Gap King for leaving a crumb trail for us. Junkman says, Romer Vid is several speakers. Life story speech, it's labeled, expires in a month. Cool. That's awesome. Thank you for bringing that back. Okay. Chris Waller says, what is the best way to resolve a Section 3 policy violation with Amazon? So for one, I hope you have your documentation in order. This means that you've saved all of your receipts, right? You better be scanning or photographing all your receipts and storing them in Google Drive or Dropbox or wherever. Just don't keep it in paper receipt form only, because that sucks. Hopefully you also have a business credit card that you use, or a credit card that you use just for the business that you've used to make all those purchases, so you can also show the transactions. And the key to winning a Section 3 claim is just to overwhelm Amazon with as much documentation as you can, and also get on ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to help craft you a professional appeal that has a legalese tone. Because when you hit them with the legalese tone, they fold over way easier. So overwhelm them with all of your documentation and have ChatGPT write your appeal so it looks very professional and with legalese. Specifically specify that in there. And ChatGPT can do this. I've had ChatGPT write Section 3 appeals many different times. So leverage that stuff. If you're still asking questions that could be answered with ChatGPT, the free version, what are you doing in 2025? No offense, Chris, but that's my advice. Hit up ChatGPT, tell it what you need. And then here's a big tip for all of you guys using AI in general. So instead of just saying, hey, write me an appeal for a Section 3 on Amazon, say, write me an appeal for a Section 3 on my Amazon account. But before you write it, ask me 1 to 5 questions that will help you gather more relevant information to help you create the best Section 3 appeal possible. And you can use that tip in any prompt that you do with AI. So here's what I want, but then you're giving it an opportunity to ask you for more information to then go and make a much better prompt that it can operate with. Really beginning to regret not getting that water. Like the video if you're here and you're having a good time. Johnny Shelton says, what are the biggest beginner mistakes you see new sellers make with online arbitrage? That's a great question. So for one, I think not using all of the available methods to reduce their cost of goods on products. So you might find an item and it's very close to being profitable, but it's not quite there, and so you don't buy it. But the reality is you need to be manufacturing your profit into these items. So you need to use extensions like Honey and other automated coupon code things, or just Googling it to use coupon codes, right? You need to be using cashback credit cards, right? You need to be using cashback links like Be Frugal or Rakuten. You need to be using discounted gift cards from like Arbitrage card. So here's another thing. I wasn't planning to promote this, but if you guys want $50 in free gift cards, go to arbitragecard.com and purchase a gift card and use code Reezy50 and you'll get $50 off. You could literally get a $55 gift card and use the code Reezy50 and only pay $5, and you can do that right now. It's live, right? So using discounted gift cards, using promo codes, getting tax exempt when you can, right? Make sure that if the website offers tax exempt that you're using that, and promo codes, and also taking advantage of sales. So having a burner email set up, right, that you use to sign up to every single website you can think of, so that you're aware of when the sales are happening and you know what the discounts are. Because when you wake up in the morning and you go, where am I going to source? You're going to source whatever store has the best sale and opportunity for you today. And you're going to know that by checking your email. There's actually a service called SalesGazer, SalesGazer, that will help notify you of these automatically every day. But again, a lot of people use it and everyone's getting the same notifications. So the ones that you can get manually that aren't showing up in there have a lot less competition. I still recommend using that, but I also recommend signing up your own burner email to as many different sites as you can. Let's see what else. Another huge, this is huge. You're going to want to put some W's in the chat for this one, guys. So with online arbitrage, right? Let's say that tomorrow Kohl's is having a 50% off on kitchen appliance, Kohls.com, right? So a lot of people will just wake up real early in the morning, think they don't want to miss any of the sales, and then they'll get them. Well, guess what? You need to know what time does that sale start, because if it starts tomorrow, does it start at 1 minute after midnight? Or does it start at like 8 a.m.? Or does it start at 1 minute after midnight East Coast time or West Coast time? And you might mess it up the first time at that site, but if you go and find out, oh, it doesn't start till midnight East Coast, now you know. Or it started at 3 hours ago, now you know. And the next time, what you're going to do is you're going to shop the sale, and you could do this at retail stores too, but on online it's very important. You're going to shop the sale either manually or with your software, pretending that the things are already on sale and putting them in your cart. And then you're going to wait until the sale starts, and 1 minute after the sale starts, you're going to refresh your cart and you're going to make sure the discounts show up, and then you're going to check out. So while everyone else is waiting for the sale to start to go look for the deals and then buy them, you've already sourced all the best profitable items, and with one click you just refresh, now you have the sale price and you check out. That's a huge tip. That is huge tip. That's a $10,000 tip, honestly, I promise you. Just take advantage of all the best deals that you can and set yourself up for success. Which tools? Johnny is coming through with hella questions. Shout out Johnny for leveraging the live here. What tools and softwares are absolutely essential for online arbitrage in 2025, and which ones are overhyped? So, for one, Keepa is the number one tool. You need to have Keepa. Those are the best sales rank and the best charts for one. They're big on your screen. Like SellerAmp has Keepa charts built in, but they're not as big as the Keepa charts extension in Chrome. So even if you were just using SellerAmp, I would have Keepa just for that. But then Keepa Product Finder, right? So Keepa Product Finder is insanely overpowered. Learn how to use Keepa Product Finder. The best person to teach you that is Christopher Grant, okay? You can learn it on your own, but watch all the content and read all the blog posts that he has about Keepa Product Finder. It will blow your freaking mind. The other thing is using Keepa to set alerts, right? So when you find a product and you see that it's not profitable, but it was profitable, or if the price was this, it would be profitable, and you can see that historically the price has gone up or gone down, whatever you're looking for, set an alert. So instead of, you've already invested 5 or 10 minutes looking at this product, instead of just leaving the page, set an alert to remind you when the price goes back to the favorable scenario to get an alert. And if you do this a lot, then you'll suddenly be waking up to just automated alerts on your browser or in your email from Keepa telling you, hey, the price is up here, or hey, the price is down and you should buy this, in the case of Amazon to Amazon flips, right? So that's really huge. Keepa is insanely important. You need a tool like SellerAmp as well, because you got to have a Chrome extension that helps you to analyze deals properly. And SellerAmp is a great one. It has the built-in storefront stocking that allows you to go look at what other people have. So if you have SellerAmp and you have Keepa, honestly, that's enough for you to just crush it. Now, if you want to take it to the next level, you could use a tool like Tactical Arbitrage, which is automated scraping of websites to compare it against Amazon. So while you're sleeping, you or your VA could be running searches on Tactical Arbitrage to scrape a whole website or a whole category on a website and then compare it against Amazon and only return the results to you that meet your thresholds, right? So then you would wake up, and instead of having to look through the entire shoe section on Kohl's for the half-off shoe sale, you would have all that stuff already there, and you would just be able to quickly go through and scan it and see the ones that are going to get your attention, because they're not all, and it's not perfect. You still need to put your eyes on it. You know what I mean? But those 3 tools are probably the most important tools in online arbitrage: Keepa, SellerAmp, and Tactical Arbitrage, okay? There's a few other ones out there, but with those 3, you will literally be unstoppable. And I would say, especially with Keepa and SellerAmp, Tactical Arbitrage is more advanced, right? And just to illustrate how advanced it is, I remember the first time I used Tactical Arbitrage, I didn't understand how to use it at all. And I'm fairly smart. I don't want to say I'm a genius or whatever, but usually I don't read instructions and I can figure things out and I'm okay. That wasn't the case with Tactical Arbitrage. I had to read some instructions, some tutorials. I had to watch some videos, right? So Tactical Arbitrage is goated. SellerAmp is goated. Keepa is double goated, right? So shout out to Ryan Trahan for making me say goated. If anybody in here is watching the Ryan Trahan 50 States in 50 Days series, I want to see that in the chat right now. I want to see it. We watch it every single day. Actually, right after this live stream, we're going to go watch today's episode. So Chris Waller wants to know about the Discord. If you search, dang, I should just get the link out, huh? Let me see if I can get the link. Hold on one second. I'll put it in the chat for you, G. Let me see. Hopefully I have some kind of short form so I don't have to type it all out. Let's see. Okay, I do. All right, here we go. I'm going to put it in the chat, the Discord, right now for those of you that want to join. Bear with me here. I can't type and talk. www. All right, that's in the chat right now. That should work for you guys. If it's not clickable, copy and paste it. I'm sorry. And again, this is a good time to take a break and let you guys know. You see that banner down there? There's a reason I'm running that shit. It's because I believe in this program. Starting tomorrow, the online arbitrage challenge with Christopher Grant begins, and sign up ends tonight at midnight. If you want to learn online arbitrage, if you want to learn Keepa, if you want to learn tactical arbitrage, you want to learn the shit that I'm talking about in depth with someone guiding you live for the next week, including a Q&A after every session and access to the recordings, sign the fuck up. There is a more than money back guarantee. You're going to get your money back plus an extra $50 if you're unhappy for any reason. No questions asked. Christopher Grant is leading it. He is one of the most trustworthy guys in the space. You guys know I wouldn't be steering you wrong, okay? And on top of that, I've never heard anyone say anything bad about this program. And they've had over 3,000 successful students. And I know personally many, many people that take this again and again and again. They take it every year as a refresher. So quit playing. Let's see what we got. What junk man, motion in lemonade? I don't get it. Henry Chen says, I just passed the section 3 and made all the documents as a PDF. Don't submit them one by one. Good tip. Thank you, Henry. I appreciate that. What's up, Gino? How you doing? Did I miss you? I don't know. Maybe I know you by a different name. Hey, Reezy, is there already an AI that can search for products on different websites, automatically recognize prices, and find deals based on my criteria? I am not aware if there is, but I do believe that kind of stuff is coming out in the pipeline. I think that at this point in the game, it would probably be something that requires a lot of attention on it, but I know that's being built. I know a couple companies that are working on stuff like that is AI focused, reselling, arbitrage based stuff. So I think that in the future, online arbitrage might get faded really hard by AI, and it will turn into like kind of how the stock market is with quant trading, where people are trading like fractions of a share so fast. They're making a penny 1,000 times a second across, 100,000 shares or whatever. So using AI and all that stuff. My good friend Scotty G, aka Ricky Analog, he's using Claude right now to code out some scripts for some of the trading stuff to automate his trading. So it not only is it happening, or is it possible, it's already happening, and maybe you should be making it. You know what I mean? I just saw that Tech and Sports just released an AI-based eBay listing tool where you just upload images and then it creates the draft listings for you, including selecting all the drop-down categories, titling it, writing the description, everything. And I've talked to a few people that have used it, and so far people say it's good. You do have to babysit it a lot and fix some stuff, but it's saving a lot of time. I'm sure it works more, it's more accurate in some categories than others. But it is what it is, and AI is definitely coming. It's not going to take your job, but the person who uses AI is going to take your job, because instead of you being able to only make 100 listings in a day, you're going to be able to make 1,000 listings a day as one single person using AI. And if you can't keep up with that because you're still only doing 100 a day, then yeah, you're going to be wondering why it's so hard for you to make any sales. David Dickerson says, how's Gary Vee doing? This is a great question. So I know I've been on his show a couple times. He was on my show, but it's not like we're homies. You know what I mean? I don't have Gary Vee's number. I had a number I thought was his at one point. I called it. He didn't answer. So I'm pretty sure it wasn't him. He does follow me on Twitter and a couple platforms, so I can talk to him. It's mostly one-sided. He'll see it sometimes. He's really, really busy, obviously. But yesterday I shared a photo of a skateboard from my studio. Hold on, I'll grab it. It's right here. One sec. Yesterday on my Instagram, I shared a photo of this skateboard. This is a primitive collab with V Friends, right? This gold print, but I got it signed by Gary Vee and P-Rod, and I posted it, and I was like, guarantee I'm the only person in the world that has this skateboard that is signed by both Gary Vee and P-Rod. I would be very surprised if there was someone else that did, because I had to buy this from Gary Vee, and then I had an opportunity to go skating with P-Rod at his private skateboard facility. Shout out Mike Moe and ABD Collectibles for making that happen. And I brought it to get him to sign it. He thought it was pretty cool. And then I took it to Indianapolis to VCon and had waited in line for an hour to talk with Gary, and then had Gary sign it as well. So I'm pretty sure I'm the only person in the world that has this. And I shared it on Instagram yesterday, and Gary reshared it on his story. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, how's Gary doing? I don't know. The same. You go look at his Instagram. It's the same as what I know. If anybody has any more questions, please share them in the chat. In the meantime, I want to let you know about the best opportunity for you to learn online arbitrage. It's the Online Arbitrage Challenge. Hit the link in the chat. It's pinned in the chat. It's also in the description. It's 1 week of live training with Christopher Grant. You're going to learn Keepa. You're going to learn Seller Amp. You're going to learn tactical arbitrage. And if you're unhappy with it for any reason, you're going to get your money back, no questions asked, plus $50. Who else do you know in the information space that's giving a more than money back guarantee? I'll answer for you. Nobody. You don't know anybody that's giving a more than money back guarantee because no one has that kind of balls to offer that. But Christopher Grant is the man with the plan. It's a 7-day, it's a week long, I think it's 5 days of OA challenge training, 1 to 2 hours each class with him, live Q&A afterwards, lifetime access to the recordings. You get to network with other arbitrage sellers. So like I said, there's beginners on there, and then there's also people that are already doing 6 and 7 figures, people who have been taking it many different times. So if you want to learn online arbitrage, join the Online Arbitrage Challenge. Also, if you're on my email list, I sent you an email about this as well. So yes, I'm spamming you, but I believe it is for your best interest, right? You know what's not in your best interest? You sitting on the fence and worrying about if you're ever going to get it done or if it's worth it. Think about, why are you at where you're at right now in your life? Is it because you're taking action, or is it because you're sitting on the fence, right? And what do you need to do to be that person that you want to be? You need to take action, right? Sorry to answer for you, but I know that's the answer. So what do you think's the best decision for you? To take the Online Arbitrage Challenge, or to think about it and not take it, and I'll do this or I'll do that? Just pay the money. It's cheap. And then you will learn, because people who pay attention. I know, because I do the same thing, right? Like, I will pay someone a couple $1,000 to mentor me in something, and surprise, surprise, that thing I had been fucking around with for a month, I get it done in the next 7 days because I paid somebody to teach me. And even if I don't learn a ton, the paying part is what makes me pay attention and actually take action, because I feel guilt or shame over spending the money, right? So whatever it is that motivates you, you need to hack yourself. Yeah, quit being a pussy. Definitely going to get my stream flagged for that one. Sorry, YouTube. Sorry about that, YouTube, and sponsors who don't want to have that word featured in their brand sponsoring. Your marketing can be here with all of these foul languages. But there's 97 of you guys sitting here watching right now, and I don't see any questions. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just take off. But I'm happy to hang out and answer more questions here while we're here. I almost feel like I'm not seeing all the questions, so I'm about to go and see if there's questions that I'm not seeing. Patty's World, all the way up in the Great White North, says, what's up, homie? What's up, Patty? How are you doing? Everyone go follow Patty's World. That's Patty's a retail arbitrage and online arbitrage seller for Amazon. And I don't know what else he's up to, but he's out of Canada. So especially if you're Canadian, go follow him, because there's a little bit of differences between U.S. and Canada, and I don't know what those are really, right? But Patty does, because he lives there, right? So go follow Patty. Tommy asks if I played the new Tony Hawk in 3 and 4 remake yet. No, I can't bring myself to do it. I know that was my childhood, but since then there's so much better games. For skateboarding, there's Skater XL and Session, which are skateboard simulators, which are literally so hard to play because it's like each thumbstick is 1 foot, left foot, right foot, back foot, front foot. And once you figure that out, it's so hard. But once you figure it out, it kind of feels like really skateboarding almost. And I could never go back to like just pressing button combinations to do tricks. It feels like cheating. And it's just not as fun. So if you want to get on a good skateboarding game, try out Session or Skater XL. Session's better at this point, but they're both skate sims is what they're calling them, and they're super cool. Although I do have a little like Android-based Game Boy Color style thing that I got off Amazon Influencer Program that I did a video for a brand with, and that has Game Boy Advance on it, which has Tony Hawk 2 and 3. And it does have a Dreamcast emulator on it too. So I want to, before I leave, I'm going on a trip to Utah for a week, leaving tomorrow morning. I want to put Tony Hawk 2 on there which I do legally own, legal people, to see if it works on there because it wasn't on there preloaded. But yeah, I do love me some Tony Hawk. The amount of hours of my childhood that was spent playing Tony Hawk is just filthy. Again, guys, I'm going to let you know the online arbitrage challenge starts tomorrow. Sign up ends tonight at midnight. Click the link in the description or the pinned comment to join the online arbitrage challenge. In this week-long live training, you will learn how to use Keepa. You'll learn how to use tactical arbitrage. You'll learn how to use Seller Amp. You'll learn how to use Keepa Product Finder, right? You'll learn how to set alerts for Keepa. You will learn all of the things you need to know and more, as well as network with all kinds of other Amazon sellers. And if you're unhappy for any reason at all, there's a more than money back guarantee. That means you're going to get all the money you spent on it back plus $50. And if that's not a good enough deal for you to hop in and learn how to use Keepa and all these things to do online arbitrage, I don't know if you're ready for online arbitrage. I don't. Please like the video, guys, if you're here. We've been here for a little over an hour. There's 94 of you on here, and there's only 16 likes. 17 now because I just liked it myself. But I want to see that like button go up from 17 to at least 30. There's 101 of you now. So please like the video. It really helps the algorithm. I'm trying to revive my YouTube channel and make content more often, and I want to start live streaming regularly. So if I live stream once a week, what day is best for you? Comment right now. What day and time is best for you for me to go live? If you don't want to pay anything for mentorship, but you would like to show up to these basically live consultation where you could ask any question and I'll answer it, what day and time of the week works best for you? Let me know in the comments right now. Also wonder if you can hear my wife practicing violin. She has a show tonight. Tommy says, Reezy, what's your most profitable items? Overall, ever, or like right now? So I already said it earlier, but for me, I mostly just sell Nike stuff because I can sell Nike. A lot of people can't, which makes the prices higher because the supply is low right now. And that's just like the lowest hanging fruit, and it's the easiest for me to do. So I'm not trying to make things harder for myself than they need to be. So I just go to the Nike factory store and I get clearance shoes or apparel or whatever they have there, and then I just sell that. That's the easiest thing for me to do. This past hour has been perfect timing. So Sundays from like 3:30 to 4:30 works for you, Mike D. Dylan vs. Games asks me, what's your opinion on the Russian Empire? I got to pay my mortgage. I don't have time to worry about shit I can't control. That's the realest thing I've ever said right there. Bobble and Robble says, advice for someone who talks a lot but doesn't actually take any action. Yes. Pay to join the online arbitrage challenge and guilt trip yourself into fucking learning and starting. And also watch a bunch of Gary Vee, watch a bunch of MF CEO, go to Google and Google motivational speech, or go to Google, like YouTube motivational speech, put that on and just listen to it. I don't care what motivational speech comes up, whether it's Denzel or Jim Rohn or whoever the hell it is, but just listen to it. I promise you that will suffocate your excuses. That's what I do when I start feeling like lazy and slumped out and like I'm not taking advantage of life and I'm not, carpe dieming it like you should. I go and tune into more Gary Vee. I go and watch more Gary Vee keynotes. I go listen to MF CEO, Andy Frisella, right? So there's certain people that resonate with you. Find those people that suffocate your excuses but resonate with you and just put them in your ears, right? Brainwash yourself for success, right? You know how they say peer pressure? Right? And a lot of that's like automatically associated with negative, right? They don't even say negative peer pressure. They just say peer pressure and they mean the negative kind. You need positive peer pressure. You need less coddling. You need people that are going to tell you how it is and people that keep it real. Be around those people as much as possible. And if you don't have them in real life, find them on the internet. If you need me to like be real with you, send me a DM. Send me a DM and tell me what you plan to do in the next week. that's going to change your situation, and I will put an alert on my calendar, and I will contact you back in a week, and I'll say, yo, what's up? Did you do it? And if you didn't, I'll just call you a bitch, straight up. You need more people in your life that are going to call you a bitch. I promise you. That's what you need. Sunday, Monday, Friday after 5. Nice. Are there any trends that can be identified? Products with potential? Yes, Matt, check this out. Go to eBay right now. Go to eBay and search for TikTok, right? Or discontinued, right? These are two different eBay searches. I shouldn't have said discontinued, but just remember that because that will apply to what I'm about to say. Go to eBay and search for TikTok, right? And then look at completed sales, right? And look at recent and look at sorted by high and look at those products. These are all products that are selling at a premium of retail price for profit because they're in demand because of some TikTok viral trend, right? So you can learn what these products are just by going to eBay and searching TikTok, right? And then when you find someone selling them, go through their entire store and look at what else they're selling. Make sure you look at completed. When you find the products that are coming up as TikTok, search for those products with the word minus TikTok, right? So now you're finding sellers who sell those popular TikTok products, but don't put the word TikTok in the title because they're smarter than the average bear. Then look at what they're selling, right? Look at what works from other people and replicate it, okay? Now you can do that same thing with the word discontinued, and this will find you products that are selling at premium prices that are discontinued that you can look for in retail stores. And when you find someone selling that item, look at what they're selling and look through their entire inventory and make a damn list. Screenshot it in your phone and memorize those like flashcards so that when you go to a store, you look on the bottom shelves. You go on vacation, you see a super dusty shelf, you look down there, and I promise you, you can make a killing finding discontinued products. Also, follow people on Instagram who share this type of information. There's an Instagram, Heather Cosmic Deals. Let me see exactly what it is. Hold on. She always shares discontinued products. She's so awesome. Let me see. Not the Cosmic Dead, the Cosmic Deals. What are you talking about? Cosmic Deal Heather. I'll just put her Instagram here. Go follow Cosmic Deal Heather on Instagram. She shares a wealth of information about discontinued products, and you can just see the stuff that she's finding. There's also Thrift to Travel. She also specializes in discontinued products. Let me make sure I get her Instagram. Okay, I'm putting that one in the chat too. Boom, Thrift to Travel. Those are two, but there's hundreds. Right? Those are just two. And Thrift to Travel, I believe, has a small thing that you can buy that is like, maybe it's like 10 or 20 bucks, and it's a guide to all of the discontinued products that she sells. And that it's worth its weight in gold, I promise you. But you can find so many discontinued products just using the strategy I just shared with you guys on eBay. Patty's World says, pure pressure makes diamonds. I'm telling you, baby. I'm telling you. Primo Clip says, is this stuff real? I always wondered, can you actually make money reselling? And if so, where do I even start? Okay, Primo Clips, in the description, there's a link. It's learn.reezyresells.com. Go watch that. It's a 45-minute free training that I made that will teach you almost everything you need to know. But what you mostly need to know is, I promise you, if you lock the fuck in and you learn how to do this shit, you can do $100,000 a year in sales on eBay of junk from garage sales and thrift stores. This is like 20 hours a week, 15 to 20 hours a week of sourcing and shipping product and listing and shipping products. Not a huge investment. You'll be profitable within the first 30 to 60 days, right? And you get out what you put in, right? They call it work because it works, right? You have to put the work in. So if you don't do the work, if you don't put the work in, don't be surprised if it doesn't work out. I was trying to think of my own catchphrase. I couldn't think of it. But out of that 100,000, you're going to do 20, 30, maybe 40,000 profit. It's going to be a grind, but in 1 year, you will make 20, 30, 40,000 profit. You will learn so much stuff that will change your life. I promise you, it's fucking real. Look at my eyes, bro.
This shit is real. I literally grew up on food stamps, welfare, government health care. I was homeless. I was in foster care, group homes. We lived in our car at different times. I lived in a hotel for 4 years straight because my dad couldn't get enough bread together to get an apartment. Like, people like me should have ended up in prison, but because I learned about e-commerce and specifically selling used books on Amazon, I was able to pull myself and my family out of poverty. So it fucking works, bro. It's not a scam. I know there's a lot of people scamming in this niche, but I'm not one of them. You can trust me. Ask these people in the chat if you can trust me. A lot of these people have been rocking with me for a long time. It's not bullshit. Trust me, bro. Especially if you hate your job. Don't just continue your life and be like, oh, I hate my job and complaining. Fucking do something about it. What unique opportunities are you seeing on Walmart right now that aren't as saturated as Amazon? For one, there's a lot of brands and categories that are restricted on Amazon that you can sell on Walmart. For two, Walmart has fulfillment services. So it's like FBA. It's just called WFS. For three, Walmart has excellent seller support. Right? Amazon, terrible seller support. But Walmart, they literally will throw a party for you when you join the platform, and they give you a phone number to an English-speaking North American person who probably makes $100,000 a year, and they are your rep. And you get them for your first 90 days. You get their phone number. You can call them 9 to 5. They will help you with anything. It is insane. But besides that, I think there's tremendous inefficiency in Walmart's own marketplace. So you can buy from Walmart physical to sell on Walmart.com and profit huge that way. So it's like a Walmart to Walmart flip. And you can just find these products by searching Walmart, and then you see Walmart's out of stock, and these are the things you should be looking for when you're in the store. Also, the software for finding things on Walmart is not that great yet, so it's kind of a struggle because you'll have to use, some Amazon tools for some proxy data, or go off some educated guesses, or maybe use your gut. And a lot of people are afraid to do that. So the people that are actually rolling the dice and taking the chances, they're seeing a lot greater opportunity. And when it's as easy as there's perfect software and you just scan it and it tells you yes or no, a lot of that might go away. So huge opportunities with Walmart there. Looking back, what would you tell your younger self before starting Amazon? So what I would tell my younger self is different because I am a yapper. I love being the center of attention. I also am a skateboarder, so I've been making videos forever, right? So it's only natural for me to become a YouTuber, and I always shared knowledge and information because as a young kid, I never had any money. So when some of the homies could show up and they would have $5 that they could share with each other, or $20, and or like when we were like 15 and we started drinking beer, they could buy the beer. I could never buy the beer, right? And so I always had to share knowledge and hustles and little scams with the homies. So like since a young age, I've been sharing knowledge, right? So that's just ingrained into my DNA. And so what I would have told myself, and this might not be applicable to you, is I would have told myself, hey, you're going to blow up on YouTube within the first 3 years, and you need to drop a used book selling course or a how to sell on Amazon course, even if it's only $300 or $1,000, because I would have made probably $1 to $3 million had I released a course. And I didn't release a course about how to sell on Amazon until last year, which not coincidentally aligns with the time that I purchased a home, because I put $200,000 down and I'm broke as shit now, right? So, and Amazon's harder, but back then it was easier. So I really wish I would have released a course back then. So if you guys haven't followed me since the beginning, I started in 2016, and I didn't on YouTube, and I didn't release a course about how to sell on Amazon until late 2023. So what is that? Over 7 years of giving away content for free and not making a course. And I wish I would have released a course, because I would have been able to pay my house off and got an even better house. And who knows what I would be doing if I would have had $1 to $3 million more dollars, right? And that's a big learning lesson on my part. I was very thick-headed. I thought that, and where I come from, you have to earn your street credit. You got to put in more than you take. You know what I mean? And those are just principles that I live by. And so I was my own worst enemy because I thought I hadn't earned it. I had imposter syndrome. You know what I mean? I thought course selling was a scam, right? Now I take courses myself and I know it's not a scam. And so for me, that's what I would have told myself. And also I would have told myself to buy Bitcoin like when it first came out, but that's kind of cheating. tried to resell, can never find anything. If that's your mentality, you probably need a mentor, because that's just a bullshit answer. Reselling is done on Amazon. That's so not true. There's people that are starting yesterday that are going to do 100,000 in their first year. Anybody that tells you reselling on Amazon is done is borderline retarded. I'm sorry I had to say it, but it's the damn truth, right? So follow Perry Coughlin. I just saw him post on Twitter today that his Amazon business, which is 90% retail arbitrage, did 963,000 in the last 30 days on Amazon. In the last 30 days, okay? I'm going to actually, I want to go find the tweet real quick to make sure I'm not misquoting it, because I feel like I might have. That almost sounds unbelievable, so I'm going to fact check myself. Hold on. Live streaming is a thing, right? You just say shit sometimes. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you guys if I can figure that out. Hold on. Let me see if I can figure out how to do that so that we can, because this whole reselling on Amazon is just straight bullshit, and I'm going to prove to you guys right now that you cannot trust people that say that. It's just, you're pissing me off right now, bro. Look at this. Tell me, can I see in the chat if you can see my screen right now? 742,000 in the last 30 days. Can you see this in the chat for me? Let me know, chat. Can you see this? 742,000 in the last 30 days. This is Perry Coughlin, Coghlan, posted on Twitter yesterday. He is 90% retail arbitrage and is not a big team. It's like him, his wife, and one or two sourcers. 742,000 in sales in the last 30 days. Now tell me, even if that's only 10% profit, is 75,000 a year an amount of money that would make you happy? 75,000 profit times 12. That's 900,000 profit a year if it's only 10%. If that's 20%, it's 1.8 million. And I can promise you it's at least 20%. So you have people over here like AH in the chat that are saying reselling is done on Amazon. But then you have people like Perry Coughlin, who is posting his actual sales. This is a trustworthy person, not a scammer. I don't even think he sells courses or mentorships or anything. Doing 740,000 in the last 30 days, okay? If you don't fucking believe that, you just get the hell off the internet, because you're not using it how it should be used. Why did you have to make me get so fucking heated, bro? Reselling is done. Get the hell off the stream with that negativity. Jesus Christ. Jesus H. Christ. I'm sorry, Lord, for using your name in vain. So don't be like this dude AH in the chat who says reselling is done on Amazon. Honestly, half of me believes that he's cooking so hard on Amazon, he just doesn't want you to know how good it is, so he wants to try and scare people away, right? But I promise you, for every person that says reselling is done, there's a Perry Coughlin out there doing 700,000 plus in the last 30 days. And that is just his Amazon sales. He just started getting cooking on Walmart and did like 50,000 or 30 or 50,000 in his first 30 days on Walmart, right? So the opportunity is amazing, but if you listen to average people who are surrounded by average people who are probably depressed saying shit like this, reselling is done on Amazon, you sound like freaking weird SpongeBob meme. God, look at God. Can we just bring this back up? 742,000. Okay. That is a real screenshot from a real person. Right? That you can trust. Go follow Perry Coughlin on Twitter. I promise you, the dude is a G. I met him at the Miami Sellers Conference in person after talking to him for many years online, and he's a trustworthy person, OG, a little bit older than me, someone that I would call an OG, not necessarily an OG in the Amazon space, but someone that I would call an OG. But I promise you guys, reselling is not only real, it's not dead. It's possible for anybody here to do it. Do you live in an area, or are you willing to drive to an area and source brand new products that are on clearance for 20 hours a week, right? Or used books, or do online arbitrage because you don't want to drive somewhere? There's so many different ways you can do it, right? And you're not going to do it by saying reselling is done on Amp. Like, come on, man. Okay. So if you want to make money on Amazon and you want to do online arbitrage, join the online arbitrage challenge. There's a link in the chat. There's a link in the description. There is a more than money back guarantee. That means that after the week training, if you didn't like the training or you're just broke, you can request a refund and they'll give you all your money back plus $50. This is a $50 money glitch, right? So join the online arbitrage challenge. Learn online arbitrage from the most skilled online arbitrage teacher in the game, Chris Grant. He's going to also teach you Keepa, all facets of Keepa, the product finder, setting alerts, all kinds of strategies. You're going to learn about Keepa product finder corridors. You're going to learn how to use seller amp. You're going to learn how to use tactical arbitrage. You're going to learn so much different stuff. It's going to make your head spin, but that's okay because you're going to have access to the videos forever and you can rewatch them. And there is a live Q&A just like this at the end of every day's training. What more do you want, right? So if you're on the fence, get the fuck off the fence and join the online arbitrage challenge. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I got to get some water. Remember, guys, if you ain't flipping, you slipping. And don't listen to people like this guy saying reselling is dead because Perry right here is proving you more than wrong, okay? Have a good night, guys. I love you. Peace.